The next stupid scene was those bombers. Those bombers don't make any sense. They're slow moving and they're very delicate. All it took is one TIE fighter to crash through three of them. They're like paper thin. Whoever heard of a bomber that's so delicate that like an out of control TIE fighter can just smash through three of them and blow them all up? That's so stupid. And then the way they're supposed to work, bombs just drop onto the big spaceship, onto the dreadnought. There's no gravity. There's no gravity in space. Ruin Johnson doesn't know anything about science. Just like kray-kray Abrams. Now I know that fanboys and fans of The Last Jedi have tried to explain this away by saying that they're magnetic. That's even more stupid because, first of all, the hull of the bomber is metal. So if those bombs were magnetic, they would have stuck to the side of the bomber. They would have stuck to the side of their own ship. Or even worse, if those bombs were magnetic, they would have stuck to each other. They would have clustered to each other. I mean, have you ever played with magnets? I mean, those of us who have played with magnets know. When you have a bunch of little magnets together, they all of a sudden stick to each other more readily than they would to like something bigger that's made out of metal. Like, for example, if you have a bunch of little magnets and then you have like a refrigerator, they're not going to stick to they're not going to be attracted to the refrigerator. They're going to be attracted to whatever's closer to them. They're attracted to other things, smaller things that are closer to them than they would be to a larger metal thing like a fridge. To say that they're magnetic is really, really stupid. Because again, they either would have stuck to the side of the bomber ship or they would have stuck to each other. They never would have made it to the dreadnought or whatever. So yeah, that's a really stupid argument that defenders of The Last Jedi make. It's like, have you guys ever played with magnets? Were you guys ever kids? Jeez. And then the other explanation they say is, oh, like somehow the dreadnought provides gravity or something, and that's what attracts the bombs. It's like, give me a freaking break. A spaceship doesn't create enough gravity to do that. I mean, look at the International Space Station. People need to hook themselves on so they don't fly off. I mean, look at our moon. Even our moon, which is huge, way bigger than a spaceship. Things don't get attracted to the moon like that. It's really, really, the bombers are a dumb, stupid idea. I don't know what Ruin Johnson and the Lucasfilm story group were thinking. And not only that, but how does a bomber survive a bombing run? I mean, look at what happens. When the bombers drop the payload, the explosion also blows the bomber up. That is so stupid. So basically, a bombing run is a suicide mission. So if a bombing run is a suicide mission, then why have 3 pilots or whatever? Why not just have 1 pilot so you only lose 1 pilot? Or better yet, why not just kamikaze the bomber into the Star Destroyer or the Dreadnought? But that scene where Rose Tico's sister dies, she would have survived, but when she dropped the payload of bombs and the bombs blew up on the spaceship, the explosion also blew her up. That is really stupid. That's actually not how bombers work in World War II. So if you're trying to say that Ruin Johnson is inspired by World War II, then I don't know where he got that idea from, because that's not how it works. On a related topic, people say, well, Ruin Johnson was inspired by those World War II bombers. Another thing that fanboys and fangirls will say, well, well, George Lucas was inspired by World War II dogfights, fighter pilots, blah blah blah. No, stupid. It's not so much that he was inspired by those World War II dogfights. It's that the way I understand it by looking at the special features and the featurettes on the DVDs was that at that time no one had made like a realistic looking science fiction movie with the way the spaceships flew. So what he did is that he wanted to give his storyboard editors some footage that would make the X-wing battles look realistic. And the only thing that was available to him were some old World War II dogfight films. So it's not that he was inspired by World War II, it's that he used World War II footage to give to his storyboard editors and told them to look at those so that they can get the pacing and the movement of the spaceships across the screen correct. That's why he did it. So this whole idea that Rian Johnson was just doing what George Lucas was doing, no, that's not it. Rian Johnson wanted to make things like World War II, whereas George Lucas used World War II to try to make his science fiction movie seem realistic. So those are two different ideas. But fanboys are confusing the two different ideas because they don't actually really listen. They don't listen to anything. I've actually seen the special features and the interviews, and that's the sense that I got. I mean, I'm always amazed at the lengths that defenders of The Last Jedi will go to defend crap. I mean, it's amazing.